Welcome to the Star Network. I'm Star, and yes, I'm ready for Christmas. So last week we talked about the baddies, and this week we're talking about sugaring. Now, what's the definition of sugaring? I'm glad you asked. It's a pseudo-romantic transactional sexual relationship between a man and a woman.
The Dark Side of Being a Sugar Baby, Part 3. At this point, we're in it. She's completely naked. Things are about to go down. And granted, this isn't my first rodeo. I know what to expect. I've been with this girl before, and this completely threw me for a loop. Right before I was going downtown, I noticed on the inside of her legs right here, both sides, were long scars from cuts. And I asked her, I was like, what happened? Are you okay? Like I thought, I don't know. Maybe she was depressed. Who knows? But there were legit 4 or 5 lines on both sides of her inner thigh where she was cutting herself. It wasn't like that before. I was like, are you depressed or something? Like, what's going on? She goes, no, it's nothing like that. That guy from the FaceTime call, apparently he likes to see young girls bleed. And a part of their little arrangement during the act is her cutting herself a little bit. I had to stop. I couldn't do it. I felt so bad for how things had progressed for her. I couldn't believe it had gotten that far. And she became upset with me, but it gets worse.
How do you find these clips? You be bringing me some crazy shit. This is a crazy ass world we live in. I didn't know sugar babies were out here cutting themselves between their legs. I have never in my life heard of anything like this. Roll the clip.
Brought me into Gucci. I'll always remember he brought me into Gucci and he was like, pick anything you want. And guys, I left with a belt. Like, come on.
Okay.
You know what I mean, though? Because that's just like...
That's the one thing you probably could have got yourself.
No, literally.
What is the biggest bill you've seen in a club in Miami?
$50,000 with Rick Ross at 11, yeah.
And he paid for it?
Yeah, he did.
What's the most amount of money you've ever spent at a club?
Me? Maybe $20,000 at a strip club.
You spent it?
Yeah, I did.
What do you do for work?
I'm a sugar baby.
What is the most expensive date you've ever been?
$100,000.
On one date?
Yeah.
And what happened? What'd you do?
He gave me $10,000 off the ripper in an envelope. Then it was like $60,000, and then it was a car, and it was a house.
What car?
A G-Wagon. AMG 63.
How'd you get into this?
I think the game called me. I didn't call it.
Did you see the excited look the white woman had on her face as the black woman talked about money? Yeah. White women love sugaring. They get a kick out of a woman getting a house and a car out of a man. I worked at a company and half of the women were sugar babies and the other half were married. And the crazy thing is, part of our job was meeting with clients. And the married women, when they went to meet a client, they would slide off their wedding rings and go handle their business. And the men at the company got angry at one point because, let's just say, they found out some things. And the reason why the men were mad at the one particular woman was because she was making more money than all the men. Her commission checks were crazy, and she wanted to pull me into her little game. She called me one evening and said, hey, I'm at this restaurant. Why don't you come through? Now, did I roll through? Absolutely not. She wasn't about to tie me in some bullshit. I don't believe in shitting where you eat. Absolutely not. Besides, an older woman at the company sat me down and told me exactly what was going on. She gave me play-by-play. She gave me the game. Now let's move the conversation along to Will and Jada because they've been separated since 2016. So were the rumors true that Will Smith was actually dating YouTuber Liza Koshy? Go ahead and put Liza on the screen, please. Got it? All right. Oh, she's a cutie. Okay, Will, I see you. Let me say allegedly before we get deep into it. Now, Liza and Will have actually been in each other's YouTube videos, so go check that out. Do we have any pictures of them together? Go ahead and put that on the screen, please. Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, you got a picture of her with him and the son. Okay. What year was this picture? Does it say? 2018. Hey, they could have been dating. I wonder if they ever lived together. Men are always talking about how dumb Will Smith is. He's not dumb by a long shot. He walked away from that relationship without splitting his money down the middle. He's like, nah, we don't got to get a divorce. I'll give you what I want to give you. I'm not splitting his wealth. Now, the question is, what made Jada come forward? Is Will ready to pull the trigger on the divorce and she's trying to jump in front of it? What's really going on? Is Will ready to reveal his girlfriend, whomever that is? I think it's a reason why she's bringing all this out now. I think Jada is very strategic. And remember when Jada was with August Alsina? What year was that? Give me the date on that, please. Wait, you said the affair was in 2016, but it came out to the public in 2020? That's the year they split up. Wow. Go ahead and put August Alsina on the screen. Jada is cold-blooded. Oh, you got the picture of both of them. Jada looks so happy in this picture. Because she with the man she want to be with. I got to shout out August Alsina because that first album he had helped me study for a very important exam. Okay? And I had to sit and study for hours on end. And that album got me through. So shout out to him. According to the media, August is battling a health condition, and Jada said, hey, I can help you. Take off your clothes. You wrong, Jada. How you gonna sleep with your son's friend? You know a lot of white women do that. You know what? I gotta stop talking about white women. You know why? On my TikTok, I did a video about white women. The video has, last time I checked, it was almost 60,000 views. And listen, people did not like that video. And now every morning, I get a notification of these white women following me. And guess what? They're all witches. First of all, you don't know what you're doing with the witchcraft. You're playing around, trying to tap in with the ancestors, and you don't even know what you're doing. Stop it before you hurt yourself. And for the love of God, please stop sending me messages talking about you're drawn to me. I'm officially creeped out. Now I have to tap into my ancestors and find out what the hell is going on. I drink my water and I mind my business. And here come the goofies. Now, before we talk about Kayla Nicole's Dear Black Girl letter, let's talk about that 8-year-old. 8-year-old child bride dies from internal bleeding after her wedding night. This is really disturbing. It's beyond sick when men say, oh, I need somebody really young. That's what they're talking about. An 18, 19-year-old's not young enough. They need a baby to have sex with. It is beyond sickening, and these men need to be under the jail. These men on the internet say, oh, as soon as a little girl has her period, she's ready. Is your daughter ready too? Who you gonna sell your daughter to? Anyways, let's go to Kayla Nicole. So, Kayla Nicole wrote a letter to the black girls in response to the Swifties leaving her hateful messages on her social media, and even going as far as comparing her negatively to Taylor Swift. One Swiftie felt bad and she left her own message for Kayla Nicole, and it reads, as a Swiftie, I want to apologize for the immature and unnecessary comments left by those who are miserable in their own lives. They feel the need to come and try to put down another beautiful woman. I'm incredibly sorry about this. This is incredibly sad because Taylor Swift has been in and out of relationships for years, and this is according to her fan base. So when it's time for Travis to exit stage left, guess what's going to happen? They're going to try to ruin his career. And that's if they don't demand him to marry her, because he going to have to get permission to leave the relationship. People change their minds like the wind. They change it a lot. So if you see Travis growing back the beard and he's wearing the Fendi coat, he's about to switch up. This is going to be fun to watch. Kayla, get your popcorn and just sit back and watch. Because it's just beginning. Imagine being in a relationship and you have absolutely no control of it. Instead, a corporation is in control and they're telling you how to move, how to dress, how to act. They're telling you what to say and what not to say. At some point, it's going to get tiring. At some point, the money is not going to be enough. People love their freedom. No one wants to feel trapped in a relationship. And next on the list, Jason Derulo. Okay, Jason Derulo was hit with a sexual harassment claim by Emiza Gibson. Do we have her picture? Go ahead and put it on the screen, please. All right, Emiza was signed to Jay-Z's Roc Nation in 2018, and she met Jason Derulo in August in 2021. I remember her. She was a YouTuber. She did a lot of dancing on YouTube. Some years back, I remember her and, what's his name? DDG. DDG got a lot of people mad at him for being with Halle. And a lot of women are saying, oh, he's lazy, he's broke. That boy is not lazy and broke. That boy grinded his way to the top. Let me sidetrack for a minute and talk about YouTube demonetization because we talked about this weeks ago. And I said YouTube is not scared to lose any top YouTuber because they have the celebrities now. Not only are they advertiser friendly, but they come on camera ready. Strictly professionals, what they looking for. I do YouTube for fun. I love doing graphics and thumbnails. That's my thing. But if you're doing this for real, your competition is the celebrity. You gotta step your game all the way up before you get pushed out. And that's what they're doing right now. Now let's get back to the accusations against Jason Derulo. According to an NBC article, the victim stated that dealing with Jason Derulo came with strings and struggles she'd never experienced before. Aggressive behavior, unwanted invitations, and implications that she would have to have sex. She also states that she's at a low point right now in her life and it's heartbreaking, and that she has anxiety and she's traumatized and she's worked in inhumane work situations, and that she's back to zero and she has nothing. That's code for give me some money. Break out the checkbook. She also mentioned goat skin and fish scales. I gotta find that. So fish scales refer to a strand of cocaine. So according to the article, goat skin refers to goat sacrifices and blood and sex. Uh-oh, she telling everything. What is going on, Jason? You signed this girl to a record deal, stop answering her calls because she wouldn't have sex? Welcome to Hollyweird. So at one point she meets with him at a recording session. She was late and he charged after her in front of her mother. Hell no. This not looking good, Jason. She got a witness. That's very smart to take somebody with you to the recording session. So the mother gets involved and she contacts Atlantic Records through email. There goes some more evidence. Gibson lawsuit seeks unpaid wages, loss of earnings, deferred compensation, and other employment benefits and damages for emotional distress. Pay her. I see why NBC wrote this article. Not only does she have a witness, she has emails going back and forth with the record company. I think she about to get paid. You know, these people in Hollywood, they get so much money, they think they can take advantage of people. And they think they can force women to do strange things in the bedroom. It's so many women that are in positions where they feel they need to have sex to get ahead. And he thought she was one of those people, and he found out and he got angry, allegedly. And now he might have to pay a real hefty price. Yeah, he won't do that anymore. So, you want to be a star. How badly do you want to be a star? You willing to lay down or no? I'm Star. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Good night.